Well, I finally made it to Malzeno, and I have to say my favorite part is when he goes, "What is a hunter?" and then he throws his glass and... Welcome back, Classic Crew, to my Monster Hunter Sunbreak adventure as I go forth and try to complete every single quest this game will throw at me. I'm tempted to, like, maybe escalate this pledge to, dare I say, 100% the game. I don't know if that's doable or if that's crazy, but I'm loving this game so much. I just finished fighting Malzeno for the first time, and I understand that anything I share here in terms of criticism and appreciation is all within the context that Fioraine was there to help me, and she helped me a lot. She had quite a few flash bombs and saved me a few times. So anyways, actually before I got into Malzeno, I took on the first event quest. So all of us are now being granted event quests, I think every week, and the first one was a fight Bob and Aknasam. It was kind of a meh quest. It's just you fight them, but you get the "it's over." I can only think of "it's over, Anakin, I have the high," but it's not that. You just get on your knees and you go, "It should have been me." And then there's another one where you do a weird gesture. I didn't like number 2, but I do like the "it's over" on my knees. The next thing is Malzeno. So progress the story. Was really excited to take on Malzeno, and this was a fight I absolutely loved. It just went well. We had some epic music, though. It's no Ogre theme, that's for sure. He had a plethora of moves. The more I fought him, the more I'm like, what is... I watched back the footage, and I think that there's basically 3 states. Now, I'm not sure about this. There's the base state that you fight him in, which he's a bit of a pushover. And then there's the state where... I think there's in his enraged state, and then there's a third state, from what I understand, where he goes like supernova and he's glowing and looks all crimson-y. I really, really love him in that state because he's just like shining of like weak spot here, weak spot on my tail, and it's just so satisfying when you can actually hit that, or you shoved your like switch axe in that like crystal stuff and you go like brrr. His attacks were really cool. I've never seen a tail thrust where like it hits the ground and then it seeks you. That one scared me the first time. His instant zap, he's got like freaking quick step on him. That too was terrifying, how he's just like, zoop, zoop. I saw it I think in the demo, people, I didn't fight him in the demo, by the way. So this was my very first time fighting him. I, for the most part, avoided spoilers about the fight. The only thing I did know was the quick step. And some people were like, oh, this is kind of bullshit, like monster dynamics. I have to say, I love it. I love the quick step. I think it was fine. It was terrifying. I'm like, oh, where's he gonna zap to next? But it wasn't so ridiculous that I couldn't anticipate it. He's got the fireballs. I was so surprised to see the 3 fireballs like Dracula. So I played the Castlevania games. You should check out my diaries if you haven't already. And there's a part where like Dracula is known for basically 2 attacks. Well, no, 1 attack, I would say, which is he opens his cape and like 3 fireballs come out. So to see Malzeno, a vampire-inspired monster, use that, I'm like, oh, Capcom, you're doing it so right. Like, that is just, that's perfect. And then there's another part where I think he uses his wing to, like, do a big whoosh, which I think is something Dracula does as well, but he's using the wind through, and I was like, oh, this just feels like a vampire. Like, how are you so good at making monsters thematically accurate to their source material? It was just so on point. The only thing that they could have done better is like if Malzeno grabs you with his tail and like pulls you in for a kiss and then like bites into your neck. I don't know if you actually, why doesn't he do that? And then he's got the big ball. I like these big attacks that a lot of Sunbreak monsters have, where they like shove their tail into the ground and there's like big energy ball. It's very like anime-esque. I don't know, but it hasn't hit me. Maybe that's why I don't mind it. But I know Astalos does it. I think Magma Almudron, yeah, he does something like that too. So overall, the Malzeno fight, super fun. It really worked well with the switch axe. Like it gave me subtle vibes of Velkhana. And for those of you who are familiar with this channel, I love Velkhana. I was scarred for 5 weeks fighting Velkhana, or tempered Velkhana specifically. And Malzeno evokes those vibes. And I think we will get a super beefed up Malzeno eventually as an event quest, which will be reminiscent of my experience with Arc Tempered Velkhana. And for that, I am really looking forward to it with tears, fear, and excitement. Also, some of you gave me the tip on how to use the counter to wake up monsters, the switch axe counter. Thank you so much. I got to do it on Malzeno and a bunch of other monsters this past week. So when they're asleep, I put my barrel bombs and then I like counter into it, which makes it go big boom. And then like we counter into it and then we're all charged up and then we can go like into their heads and then we go more booms. It's like the counter boom. I was going to call it the counter boom, but maybe it's the counter boom boom because you do a lot of booms, or the counter boom square. Maybe just the counter boom. I also noticed, I don't know if it's because I had a skill that was doing this. I know that the Malzeno armor gives a new, and because I don't have my notebook in front of me, I use the notebook on screen, which is why you're seeing my eyes do this. But there is a new skill on his armor called Bloodright, which I had an aha moment because I did equip it. I wanted Bloodright, and Bloodright lets you regain health when you're doing damage to broken pieces. And I realized on a monster that I was zero-sum discharging on, I must have been on their broken part, I was regaining health, and it reminded me so much of the health augment or the regen augment from Monster Hunter World Iceborne, that when you pair it with the Switch Axe's zero-sum discharge, you're basically like just getting a buff of health as you're sticking to the monster. And it's great because if you do your zero-sum discharge, Invasion Sensation, at the wrong time, you're going to lose health, but having that little regen basically nullifies that risk, for better or worse. And so you can zero-sum discharge all you like, and you're just going to regain your health no matter what happens. It's almost like, it feels like cheating, honestly. And I have to say, I have to be a little bit more careful with my zero-sum discharge. I'm being a little bit too generous with them, and sooner or later, these monsters are going to kill me. The Funny Monkey and, oh no, I'm calling him Funny Monkey. Rajang and Malzeno both almost killed me because I was zero-sum discharging on them at the wrong time, and my health went like chunk, it was almost gone. So anyways, he was dead. Next was Rajang, who was next on the list. I'm like, oh boy, how do we fight this? I can't fight it with my Thunder Axe. So I looked up my notes. I was like, okay, he's weak to ice. I need an Ice Axe. I don't have an Ice Axe. Who can I get an Ice Axe from? And then I see Lunagaran stalking over there in the side. I was like, Lunagaran. And so we went after Lunagaran. I got all my parts on one hunt. How beautiful is that? Like, after the grind of 3U where I'm like, please give me a gem, Brachydios, for a month. Lunagaran is like, here, take all my parts, build whatever you want. It was great. So from that, I have now my Ice Axe, I have a Thunder Axe, and I have a Water Axe, all of similar strengths. And I have to say, one theme that I'm learning from my past hunts is I need to, I think, put more skills, because I've got some axes in the, like, at the right side of my tree, so I can't get much more raw damage, but my hunts are taking 30 minutes at this point, so like my DPS seems kind of low. So I think I need to look at more offensive decorations and skills, because right now I have a lot of defensive stuff like evade window, evade extender, and those have been good and made fights very comfy, but I need more DPS. So I'm gonna be spending some time next week just seeing how I can squeeze out some more damage with the decorations I can make. So yeah, we went after, so I got the axe, went after freaking Rajang, and boy, this guy, at first I was laughing at him, because we all know Rise Rajang is a silly monkey, and so I'm just pounding him, and then he got angry, and I don't know what happened, but he was like throwing me around, dodging all my thrusts, and I was just, yeah, he carded me once, maybe twice, and it was painful. I was like, what is happening? I was being ridiculed on stream by this stupid monkey. I was like, this isn't even Furious Rajang. We're not even in full endgame yet. And I'm like, oh no, the monkey is just as bad in Rise. So I've embarrassed myself by showing just how bad it is. But on the other hand, I'm like, how the heck did I beat this guy in World when I didn't know what I was doing, even with my Switch Axe? I got to get back to that game. There's so much stuff I got to go back and re-experience from a different perspective, because that game feels wild to me in hindsight. After that, Basil Geese was unlocked, fought him. Nothing too crazy there. He did give me a tough time. I think that lasted 30 minutes. The Rajang fight lasted 30 minutes. And all of that unlocked the Shagaru Magala, which I've learned how to say, because you guys are all like, it's not pronounced Magala, which is M-A-G-A. No, it took someone to say it's M apostrophe. If it's M apostrophe, why is there an A there? Magala just sounds so like, bro, it's Magala. Like, no, I don't like that, but apparently that's how you pronounce it. So Shagaru Magala, he was a good fight, way more intense than Gore Magala, and he's basically got the element of flight. I mean, he's got wings, but he's got more of those. He reminds me more of like a Barioth, where he's jumping around more than just pure Gore Magala. So it's like a Gore Magala had a thing with a Barioth and created a Shagaru Magala. So again, it was intense. It was fun. It was well balanced. Nothing like stood out too crazy for me, because it just felt like a Gore Magala dialed up to what the original I feel should have been. So it was definitely a much more intense fight, and one where I had to be a lot more on my toes. But nothing really stood out of like, whoa, or like anything really unique.
I think he might be powered up.
Made it past that. And afterwards, I unlocked a bunch of stuff for next week, which is going to be interesting because I've unlocked all of the previous Elder Dragons. So we got Teostra on the menu, Chameleos, and Kushala. these boys are going to make me hurt so much. I'm probably going to go after Teostra. Teostra for sure. I'm going to fight him. I don't know if I'm going to go for Chameleos or Kushala though. Both have pros and cons, and both are like, I don't know which one I want to fight. Maybe Chameleos because I haven't fought him enough, and I don't have to deal with the whole tornado business. But God, Kushala, I love how Kushala looks though. So, and another nice surprise landed in the game again. So I've reached Hunter rank 100. And so our boy Crimson Glow Valstrax is on the menu. I really look for it's a high rank. So I got to build a high rank armor set to fight him. I'm going to ask all of you though, can I use a master rank weapon against high rank monsters that I haven't defeated yet? I mean, I did defeat it in the Switch version, but when I'm taking on these challenges and re-going through like the high rank challenges, are you guys okay that I only have high rank armor and master rank weapons, or do you want all high rank weapons and armor? Let me know in the comments below. You decide the severity of my pledge, and I will see you on stream as I take on the Crimson Glow of Valstrax and all these other Elder Dragons, or I'll see you in the next journal. Until next time, keep it classy. Do 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 do. Subscribe.